What's up, guys? This is my first time making a video in a while about Call of Duty. Recently, there's just been not much going on, and especially with like the Call of Duty League and everything, it's been kind of dead for like a month. But I usually make a video like at the end of the year, just like Call of Duty Champs. Last year I did one, and I actually picked Toronto Ultra to win, and let's just say that didn't go well. I think they got fourth, and I picked the Subliners to get 12th, and they got second. And then I ended up switching up and picking them when it was Optic versus Subliners, and then Optic won. So pretty much, I have no game whatsoever with picking it. I like to kind of like switch it up, and then usually I'll do like an underdog thing. But for this one, I ended up just not even doing that. I was just like, it's gonna be a wash, so I didn't even do the bracket. I was like, it's just gonna be FaZe. It's just gonna be LA Thieves. And if you guys have been living under a rock lately in the Call of Duty world, it has been absolutely insane. As you can see, I have the bracket actually pulled up over here to my left. I want to go over for the bracket for the people that haven't been able to actually watch or pay attention to it. I know I got some people who like to watch my videos about like Call of Duty, but just don't have the time to actually watch for like an 8 hour, live stream of the actual Call of Duty League. So I can go over the bracket real quick for you guys, and then I want to go give my grand finals pick because I think it's going to be really interesting and not what everyone thinks is going to happen. For the first match of the day, we had the Vancouver Surge versus the Miami Heretics. As you can see with the record, the Vancouver Surge are 4-1 because they ended up making the run in the losers bracket. And the Miami, they ended up being, 2-2? But honestly, Miami was a dark horse team that I actually wanted to really do good. I like Miami's team, even though, they're a bunch of trash talkers. But I like them for some reason. I don't know, Super and Rancor. I think Rancor is a really likable guy. But yeah, so in this first game, Miami actually came out and got kind of smoked on the first hardpoint, which you don't expect from Miami. I mean, Miami's been a solid hardpoint team pretty much since they picked up those two, and their S&D's been good, and the controls where they kind of lacked usually, I feel like. But they ended up coming back after they lost that hardpoint pretty brutally. I thought Seattle was actually going to show like what they're made of. And then Seattle gets bounced, and I was like, it's going to happen again. Seattle's going to place last because at the last major, they just got 12th. So I was like, it's just going to happen again. Like, without a doubt, like, Seattle's done because they're going to be dropping down. And then when you go to the next match, which we'll talk about, when Thieves gets dropped down, it's like, it's over for Seattle, right? Or I keep calling them Seattle, sorry, Vancouver, the Vancouver Surge. I was like telling myself I'm not going to call them Seattle, and that's all I've been doing is been calling them Seattle because the Seattle Kraken and the Seattle Surge have the same exact pretty much like logo and type like look, and I'm a big hockey fan. So yeah, here are the stats if you want to look at it real quick. I mean, not a crazy game. I mean, this was kind of a standard like Miami game, I feel like, other than dropping the first hard point, like usually they won't, but like their search was good. The control was solid, and then the last hard point, they kind of got back to form. And so I just thought it was more of Seattle kind of just, having a really high ceiling earlier in the year and then dipping down pretty much. And like I thought they, probably weren't going to make a run. But we'll go ahead and get to the LA Thieves one because that's the one that's insane here. All right, now this is what no one ever expected. All right, this is absolutely ridiculous. Los Angeles Thieves come out, win the first one. I'm like, all right, look, they won the first one. Best team in the whole game. I think they're better than FaZe, which now like it's like a toss-up. It's still like, well, which team is best? FaZe went out top 6, and then LA goes out top 8, so the worst you could possibly do for Los Angeles Thieves. But like 250 to 199, I was like, all right, they're kind of smoking them on this map. Envoy, I think, had 40, like he went insane. And then the second map, so the Search and Destroy, was really the time where I was like, oh shit, like Boston might do it again. Because Boston, if you don't know, beat him in the last major. I actually don't know if it was the major 4 or if it was major 3. But Boston beat them in one of the majors, and they dropped down to losers bracket, and the LA Thieves made the losers run. And they actually ended up winning. So I was like, all right, maybe they'll do it again if they do get dropped down. But that control also was really poorly played by LA Thieves, and I think that kind of like hindered their ability to like go forward. Sorry, excuse me. To go forward. And then rewind, they were comfortable. And then Boston came in and Neslo'd them. So pretty much Boston, I think Boston won one hard point, and it was in the last series when they ended up losing and getting kicked out of the tournament. So like at a certain point, like if you're just Neslo'ing everyone, like I don't think you're gonna be able to do it. Obviously you could win with it, but it's so unlikely to win every single search. But that is how you win championships, is mainly on search and destroy, because hard points usually you're going to flip-flop, you would assume, and control, it's kind of like the swing mode. But if you don't have a good search, you're not winning because it's the last map, and the last map means everything. So, like, yeah, so Boston ended up taking out LA Thieves. We can go ahead and scroll down to the we can go ahead and scroll down to the stats here. Got the ads popping up at the bottom. You're going to scroll down to the stats. And if you look at the stats, I mean, Scrappy with a .92, that's just like unheard of from the MVP. But yeah, so pretty much it was just, I mean, Scrappy and Ghosty went negative. If you look at, I was telling you, Envoy had a good series. People always hate on Envoy. I think Dylan Envoy is one of the best players. Or not best players, sorry. He's a great player, but he's very underrated. And people say he's rated like fine, like everyone, but no, people give Envoy a hard time. And like, yes, he has bad maps, but when you're playing with Hydra and Scrap, like, man, there's only so many kills you can get. And Dylan Envoy went out in this series, and he played well. So I don't think really like you can't really put this on anyone for LA Thieves. Like these two like games they lost, I think it was just honestly like, man, like I don't want to say it's the break, but that month break, I don't think people realize, like, I was watching Zuma and, like, Octane talk about this. They're like, a month break shouldn't matter. You should still be working, like, and being on the top. You're already, like, you can do your research, all that, blah, 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 right? It doesn't work like that. Like, for sports, like, when I'm playing hockey, like, when you're the best team, that team, like, it's so much harder to get better when you're already the best. So if there's a worse team, they're coming for you every time. They get to watch your strats. Like, LA Thieves could watch Boston strats. Boston could easily switch it up and play off LA Thieves because they know what LA Thieves are going to do. LA Thieves doesn't know what Boston's going to do because they're switching it. Why would LA Thieves switch what they do when it's been working? But now Boston gets to read it and understand what they do. So whenever you're at the top, it's always harder, especially when there's a break. Gives teams time to get better. And also, I think probably the top teams weren't working as hard. So that's when it's on them, but not when, like, I mean, when you're at the top, that's just what's going to happen. But so, I mean, they went back to back and then they get smoked. So, I mean, they're going to have to, I think they will also come back in EWC and actually, like, I think they'll probably win it. Because I think they're pissed. Like, they're upset. Like, FaZe, they're upset. But, like, I don't know. There's something about LA Thieves where I think they're going to come back and win it. We got to move on here because we've been spending so much time on it. And there's so many more series to cover. And I don't think I'll go through every series. I'll do a quick little just read through it just to make sure, like, some of the boring ones. Not boring, but, like, not the big upsets, kind of standard things. I mean, this whole tournament was just absolutely insane. We can always go take a look at the bracket at the end here again, but it was absolutely insane. Okay, honestly, I don't know how I forgot about this one, but Optic versus FaZe, and then FaZe got 3-0'd. So this was the second best team, if you haven't been following, second best team, and they got 3-0'd by Optic, who has been god-awful this year. So I would say I'm a fan of the game just in general. Not the game. I mean, this game is kind of dog shit, but I'm a fan of watching Call of Duty in general. It's just fun for me to watch, especially when there's nothing going on, no sports really happening, no hockey, no basketball. COD's fun to watch, and especially during like a weekend where like I'm tired or something, just worked out, blah, 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 just want to do something and just watch. This is the perfect thing to watch. My girlfriend gets pissed at me when I'm sitting there. I have Zuma stream on like the TV, then I got my phone I'm streaming, like watching a stream on there with someone else. She's like, there's so many different people talking. How do you understand what's going on? And I'm like, I don't know. It's COD. I mean, I feel like that that's just how it is. But yeah, for this series, Optic 3-0'd FaZe, and they're 3-0 right now as Atlanta FaZe is 1-2. They lost, I think they lost to Optic and Heretics. Heretics, I was hoping they would make it to the finals with Optic, but yeah, I would say I'm an Optic fan, but a fan of the sport in general, or the esport in general. I like a lot of teams, honestly. I'm not like picking one to like win. There's teams that I just dislike that I don't want to win. Like, I didn't want Boston to win because, like, dude, if Awakening won a Call of Duty championship, like, that's some bullshit. I mean, that guy is not supposed to win a Call of Duty championship. That'd be like, I feel like Evil Geniuses, when they won their championship in World War II, like, that would have been more believable than Boston winning. Like, Boston winning is like the most anomaly shit that would have ever happened in Call of Duty. Like, if they won, like, Snoopy's good. I like Purge. Cammy used to be good and then was like dog shit for a good while, and now is like solid again. And then Awakening was good like for a year and then has been dog shit since and still is dog shit. Like, he is not good. And Snoop's all right, like, but I think he's like Shotzi, where like sometimes he overheats, which is gonna happen. And then I think Purge is like I like Purge a lot. I think he's insane. But till they get to the series with Optic and FaZe, I mean, this was just absolute, like, they got crushed. If you look at the stats, like, I mean, Simp with a .73. I don't know when you're going to see that. Draza .65. Draza's having a rough champs. And yeah, Dashi with a .96, but later on he goes insane in other series. So I mean, you got to give it to Merc. I mean, Mercury's stepping in and just changed his team completely. I'd be curious to see Mercury's, Shotzi, Pred, and Dashi. I know Hook is insane, but I would just be curious to see like if Pred was still on the team with Mercury's, if it would have been the same like outcome. Because I think Hook's a really good player, but I also like Pred a lot. I think I just like Pred's like personality and attitude in general. So I'd just be curious to see. It's not like I'm not saying, oh, they should have kept Pred, because obviously, no. I mean, they're probably going to win, but I don't know. I just would have been curious to see Pred on this team. But yeah, I mean, overall, this series was kind of a wash. I mean, 250 to 204, 6-3, and then 3-1. Like, Optic kind of came out and handled business, and no one was expecting it. So, and then going on to the next series. All right, I'm just gonna be frank. I don't give a shit what the Royal Ravens do. They're terrible. We're just not even gonna go over it. I mean, they're absolutely horrible. It's boring watching them play. It actually is. OldCro, I like. Unfortunately, they lost as well. I mean, they should have kept Mercules. I like Insight personally. I think Insight gets some unneeded hate. I think people don't realize what impact Insight has for this team. But like, I mean, I understand. I mean, he was a .93 like in here, and then he got smoked by Optic. Like, I get Insight is not the best, but like, I don't know. I think he brings a lot to the table. I think Beans sometimes slacks just in general of making plays, but I mean, he's a 1.13, so it's like you can't really be like, oh, the guy getting the most kills or doing the best like is gonna. I mean, Joe Deceives is insane. So like, Joe Deceives, if he had a better team like this year, if he was still on LA Thieves, that would have been an interesting thing. I wonder if they never got rid of him, and like didn't pick up Envoy. Even though I just said I loved Envoy, but imagine Joe Deceives and Hydra together this year would have been kind of insane. But I do love Envoy, so I would have kept Envoy over Joe. But I mean, with the stats wise, if you're going off stats, I could see where that would be insane. But yeah, we're gonna skip this series because Royal Ravens are dog shit. Gwynn's playing for just kills. He tried his best, but the rest of his team sucked, so we're skipping it. All right, and on to this one where LA Thieves actually gets bumped out of the tournament top 8 by Vancouver Surge. And then at this point, I was like, oh shit, Vancouver now is going to be the dark horse team making the run. So I thought originally FaZe or LA Thieves would, but when Surge beat Thieves, I was like, there is a possibility, especially after I heard like an interview from, I think, Rambo. He had an interview, so it was the coach. If you don't know, because some people that watch my videos probably don't understand Call of Duty at all, but the coach was interviewed and said that like they were going to surprise teams pretty much this like event after they already lost. So they already knew like, hey, like we've been like working hard and stuff, or like been practicing. Like after I heard that, I was like, and then they beat them. I was like, oh shit, all right, well maybe he's right. And I mean, like, look at the stats. I mean, absolutely smoked too. I mean, Neptune had a .85 and they still won. That means, I mean, that's their best player probably on their team. And if that's happening, like, and like they're like Envoy .92, Ghosty struggling again. Hydra came out and did what he had to do though. Like even Scrap though, like he went positive, but like just because you go positive doesn't mean that you're like playing like the best. Obviously Scrap would say he didn't play good. But yeah, I mean, Hydra came out and tried to do what he like normally does, but he was kind of running it down where it didn't like always help. Like sometimes if he just sat in a corner, took like a gunfight that probably would have been better to iron up and take it, it would have probably worked out better. But what can you do? I mean, you can't, I'm telling you, LA Thieves, you can't blame it. It just happens. Like sometimes you're just gonna lose. Like they got 3-0'd, you're not expecting, like it's just gonna happen, and unfortunately happened at the worst tournament. So, and yeah, and props to Seattle. They played amazing. 04, I like him a lot. I don't mind even Nasty or Booza. I like both of them. So I like this Vancouver team. So yeah, we'll move on to the next one because there's not much to say other than what we covered. That LA Thieves, like I don't think it happens. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Personally, it sucks. Top 8. same with FaZe. Like, it's hard, like, top 6. But what are you going to do? You're not going to change these teams. These teams are insane. I mean, you could swap players maybe, try to pick someone off Optic. Like, I don't know. I mean, Joe DeCease, bring him back. I don't know what you want to do, but, like, your team's gross. You have Scrap, Hydro, Ghosty, and Envoy. Like, if anything, Ghosty needs to maybe step it up in the kills, but it's like, that guy's doing so many other things. Like, I don't think, like, you know what I mean? Like, this team is fine. Okay, Carolina Royal Ravens, absolutely dog shit. FaZe handled them pretty well. Let's look at the stats. Ooh, all right. We're going to the next one. All right, Breach Heretics. So I was actually at a wedding yesterday as well. I'm pretty sure Zoom was at one as well, which is kind of funny. But I was at a wedding yesterday, and I didn't have much time to watch this, but I was pulling it up on my phone. Like, at certain points during the wedding, I was like after I was in the wedding. So I did all the stuff in the wedding, was there like all day, right? Or eating dinner, I'd pull it up on my phone. Like, I would be like on my phone, I'd be like well, during the dinner to like watch a little bit so I could talk about it, because I was like, this has been insane, Call of Duty champs. I have to make a video about it. Like, if there's one thing I got to do, I have to make a video about it. So, I mean, as you can see, Boston won with another Nesla, which is insane because it went down to a round 11 and the round 5 in control, which I think, honestly, Heretics should have won the control, but they kind of bottled it. And then I think the Search and Destroy, too, they should have won, and they bottled it because I'm pretty sure they were up in the Search and Destroy. And if you look at the stats, which is just absolutely insane, the stats for Boston, negative around the whole board. So 0.99 from Snoop, 0.99 from Purge, 0.87 from Awakening, and then 0.81 from Cammy. Like, look at, like, Real had a 1.36 and Super had a 1.22. Like obviously the two hard points kind of like swayed like the kills, but like, dude, they did, like, the Heretics really just kind of screwed themselves, I think, in the COD champs too. Like, I think they should have been in the finals with Optic. Like, they're such a good team. They just made a couple mistakes that really screwed them. I mean, that round, what was it? Was it round 11 for when he pushed out and they had like the cruise missile? Yeah, I think they had the cruise missile round 11, and they didn't know because he had like three plants and like one like ninja defuse or something. So he got the points and then got like maybe 2 kills, and that's how he got a cruise missile. Like, that's just an insane way to get a cruise missile. And Miami had no clue that Boston had it. But yeah, this series was insane. This was a great one to watch, to be completely honest. The only map that was kind of boring I'd say was Rewind, but I mean, the like vibes and energy were there of Miami just absolutely dismantling Boston for that map. And after that, I was like, yeah, Boston's probably going to win, because I could just see like, yeah, Miami just like destroyed them on Rewind. But I just had this feeling like Boston was going to come back and just make this insane like they don't deserve to be here already. Like, they just got whooped too on like hardpoint. I was like, yeah, but they're just so gross at search. And like they ended up doing it after, I think they were down 4-2, which is also insane. They were down 4-2 in the search and then came back and won. So you got to tip it to Boston, even though I don't like him the most. You got to tip it to him. Then we had Optic and Toronto Ultra. I mean, this one was an absolute, like, I mean, like, let's just scroll down to the stats. Look, there was 250 to 87, 6-1, and then 3-0. Like, look at the stats. My God. I mean, they just got obliterated. I mean, Dashy decided to pop takeover, got 50 kills, and only died 28 times with a 1.792. Like, that's absolutely insane. And then even Shotzi, 1.43. And then Mercury's 1.42, and then Hook with the 1.22. Like, these guys just came out to play against Toronto. Like, Toronto stood no chance. My boy Jamie Insight had 28 kills. Like, damn it. I'm riding with you, man, and you can't get you couldn't even get 30 kills in 3 maps. And he had a 0.55. Like, that's just, but like at the same time, if you look at it, Beans 0.64. He was a minus 21, and then Jamie was a minus 23. Like, they were 2 kills away from each other. Like, I know the KD looks a lot worse, a 0.55 to a 0.64, but it's like that's like a, for the plus minus, that's a 2 kill or 2 like plus minus difference. Like, obviously Beans had 37 and Jamie had 28. But when you look at the deaths compared to, it's like 58 to 51. That's how like the plus minus obviously is going to be close. And like plus minus is a weird stat with like Call of Duty. I mean, it's like, oh, it's like, okay, like the plus minus, like at that point, it's like might as well just look at the KD than the plus minus. But yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of what I expected after Optic, like, beat FaZe. I didn't think a 3-0 was going to happen. I was like, maybe like a 3-1, 3-2, because like Optic has beaten OldCro when they have Mercules, so I was like, it's probably going to happen again. But I didn't think it was going to be like this, and Dashy just absolutely decided to world star people. So, all right, we're going to fly through these because we're getting pretty deep into it. So it's 3-0 from Miami against FaZe, which is also insane. If you go a bit down to here, look at this. Simp with a .75. I'm telling you, I just don't understand what was going on with Simp. I mean, he's one of the best players ever. Like, he's insane. And he had a .75. Like, there must have just been something up. I'm telling you, for some reason, LA Thieves and FaZe just, like, they got caught up to. Like, it's just been going downhill for both of them at this tournament. But mainly for FaZe, since they've lost to LA Thieves, it's been going downhill. So, like, I don't know. It's a weird tournament, and I really thought after Heretics beat them, I was like, all right, they're back. They're gonna like refocus up. I mean, a 3-0 against Miami, or against FaZe, I was like, they're back. Like, they're gonna make the finals. But yeah, so I mean, there's not much more to say other than FaZe got smoked, and like, I think they'll be fine. It depends on how they play at EWC, but it's like, who are you gonna drop? Draza? Like, I guess you could drop Draza after EWC and pick up someone else, but then you still have the core three where it's like they're always like, oh, like people are saying like the core three, like they can't do it, blah blah blah. But like the thing is like it's hard to consistently win, and then when you win early on, I feel like it's hard to win champs later. Like you need to peak at the right time, and they usually peak early, it seems like, or midway through, and then when they get to the end, it's like, oh, they're not peaking anymore, so they a team figures them out. So it's going to be hard. I mean, I think LA has to figure that out as well. But yeah, so I mean, I think FaZe, unfortunately, I mean, you never drop a BZ. I think he's insane, and you can't drop Simp. So like, if you drop Celium too, it's just like, it's not a good idea. So it's like, who are you going to pick up for these guys? Like you're dropping these people, who are you going to pick up? I mean, you could go into challengers, but like, I mean, there's not going to be people like Mercules, right? Like you could pick someone up, like, and it's going to be like Dylan Rex. Like that's like more realistic. Okay. So like, don't just drop someone to drop someone, in my opinion. Like, keep these guys, see how EWC goes. And then even at that point, like, who are you dropping them for? Unless you swap with LA Thieves. Like, it's a weird time. So we're going to have to see how EWC goes. But let's get to the next one. All right, this one will be really quick too because it's an absolute smoke show again. So Seattle just dismantled Ultra. I mean, the first game was really close. I thought Ultra was going to win and make it interesting. Then Seattle brought it back. Then Seattle 6-4, then 3-0. I mean, another bad series from Insight. Damn it, Insight. And then a pretty good series from Nasty. And then, of course, Neptune, their superstar. So yeah, I mean, pretty standard series. I didn't think Ultra was going to beat Seattle. Or Vancouver, my bad. I'm going to beat Vancouver. Vancouver seemed like they were, going to make a run. I thought it was going to be Vancouver and Heretics playing each other, which, all right, I was wrong. The next series was Optic in Boston. And then again, absolute just obliteration. Like, it is just ridiculous what is happening. I mean, look at the stats. Mercury is 1.79, Dashy 1.79. I mean, what the hell is Optic doing? I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, it does not make sense. I mean, Snoopy got pooped on, Awakening pooped on. Like, I don't even know what to like say for this. Like, you weren't seeing this like mid-year for Optic when they were 0-18, obviously, but like to come from 0-18 at a certain point. And now you're just smoking people like it's like ranked. Like, come on. Like, Mercules has a 1.79 with 77 kills. He has 77 kills in 3 maps. If he went to another hardpoint, he would probably get 100 already. And plus, like, he would have broken the kill record. He had 77 kills. Like, that's absolutely absurd. And the other team, I mean, Boston just got pooped on. But now the next map is Miami versus Surge. And didn't disappoint. So Surge ended up taking it 3-2. Man, I wish Miami would have won though. Like 6-5, dude. Miami is being getting hoed on the round 11s. Like they just weren't clutching up. Like, I mean, even the first vault, like Miami should have probably won that 242 to 250, and then they dealership they handled pretty easily. Protocol, yeah, whatever. Like Surge looked definitely better on there. And then the Hacienda, yeah, Miami. Like just looking at the stat line, like it looked like, okay, like look, Miami should have probably won vault. And then you look at dealership, you're like, all right, Miami should have won that, blah, blah, blah. They did. And then you're like, protocol, yeah, Surge, they took it, whatever. And then Miami should have been 3-1 right there. But then they have to go to the search after they win the hard point, which they've been doing. And then the same thing with Boston, what happened with Boston. They go to play them, get round 11, and just 6-5. Like, I feel so bad for them because I think that it would have been a more entertaining final. But at the same time, like I have a weird feeling Neptune's gonna go insane, but we'll wait to tell like my champs prediction for at the end. But yeah, Rancor went absolutely insane with plus 36 for the loss. So 1.48. Like look at this, another time where Miami just obliterated them in kills. Like look at the overall. They're all negative again in Miami loss. So I just feel bad for Miami that they're such a good team and they got bounced out top 4, which still not bad. You get $160,000, I'm pretty sure. But they would have liked to keep going. And then the last game of the night, which I was listening to on the ride home from the wedding, was Seattle and Boston. And to be honest with you, Boston surprised me winning the hard point. I did not think that was going to happen. They got really close to on the first one as well. So it was a little interesting. I thought it was going to be... It would have been so funny if Seattle Neslo'd Boston. Like if Boston won 2 hard points. And then Seattle ended up, or Vancouver, damn it, I keep calling them Seattle. If Vancouver beat them in both searches in the control. After the control, they got 3-0'd. I was like, I thought it was going to be a 3-1. And then they won the hard point. The Boston won the hard point. I was like, oh my God, no way they're going to do this. But it ended up, Seattle finished Boston off here. And now Boston plays top 3, which is a great placing for them. But now they're in that like area where it's like, oh, we just placed top 3, probably could have placed top 2. Like what do we do? Like we got to keep everyone. They're gonna go to EWC. They're probably gonna get smoked. Say they do good at EWC, that's even worse because now you're like, oh, let's keep the team for next year. Then next year they're gonna have the same team and it's probably just not gonna go well. I do like how Boston is like a group. Like they have done everything together. Like this whole year they've stuck together, which I kind of like sometimes. It depends on how like your team is. Like they were like been top 8, top 6. Like that's kind of just where they've been. But I think Boston, if they stick together for another year, it might be really bad or it could be like insane. Like they just got so much chemistry and they're going to be on a new game. Like we'll have to see what happens at EWC. But yeah, so pretty standard stats. I mean, Neptune again goes crazy with 98 kills. I mean, he's their best player. I like 0-4 a lot, but he was negative in this one, which like I was saying, like it's not always about stats. Like you go negative, whatever. Like it does depend if you're dropping to 0.55. Like when Kenny was on Optic, like that was just, it was bad. But yeah, Awakening again with a rough game. I mean, Awakening, you know how I think about him. I mean, but I like Purge though. So, but yeah, so that's it. And let's go on to like my prediction for the final map. All right, we're gonna hop back over to the actually whole bracket so you can look at it while I talk about what I think's gonna happen because it's Optic versus Vancouver Surge. Look, it didn't say Seattle. There we go. So Optic Texas versus Vancouver Surge. What do I think's gonna happen? Last year I picked Toronto to win it all. They didn't. Picked Subliners to get top 12. They didn't. They actually got second. Then I picked them to beat Optic. Then they didn't. So whatever I pick, it might be the opposite. But I do think my heart's telling me Optic's going to win, right? But for some reason, I have this really weird feeling that Neptune's going to go just insane. Like, I think Neptune's going to go insane. And I actually wouldn't even mind if Vancouver won. I like everyone on Vancouver. But it would be kind of funny to see Nasty with a championship. But, yeah, I think 0-4, Nasty, Neptune, and Abuza deserve it. Because they've been to 2 finals already. So that's the hard thing. They've been to 2 finals. Like, third time's got to be a charm. That's why I'm thinking, like, even though Optic's been so dominant, like, come on. There's no way, like, you make it to 3 finals and you lose 3 finals. Like, they've got to win 1. So I am going to pick Vancouver Surge over Optic Texas. And it's not a reverse psychology because last year I picked Subliners over Optic and then Optic won. I genuinely think Vancouver is going to win, but the problem is I could just see Optic railing them too. You know what I mean? Like it's such a like this tournament has been so weird. I just feel like Optic's been railing teams, right? It's been so weird. And then now Vancouver's just going to come in and Vancouver is just going to win. Like, it's going to be like, what happened to Optic? Like, you know what I mean? I just feel like you've gone to 3 finals now. This will be your 3rd one. You can't lose 3. I mean, I guess you could, but, like, you just can't. Like, it's not possible. You can't do it. Like, if you lose 3 in a row, like, I feel actually horrible for you, you know? Or not in a row, but, like, 3 throughout the year. Like, there's been, I mean, if you think about it, has Seattle made it, or Vancouver, have they made it to more finals than FaZe and Thieves, or have they made it to the same amount? They might have made it to the same amount. Well, because this is technically would be like major 5, and this is their 3rd time making it, so they might have made it. Because I know Thieves made it 3 times. And actually, no, I think Thieves made it 3 times because they've won 2, made it, and then lost 1. Actually, I don't know. Whatever. But Vancouver, this is their 3rd time being here because they lost to FaZe in the finals once, 0-4. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. And then Thieves beat them 0-4. So, or 4-0, but in their case it'd be 0-4. So they lost. They're pretty much 0-8 right now in finals. So, and Optic has not lost a map. I don't think that's going to continue. Seattle's going to take a map. I mean, Optic is not going to just come through and run through them. Like, see, I also think that's what I'm worried about for Optic is they're thinking like, look, we're the shit right now. They're going to come in being like, we're the shit, like we're going to win, and they're going to get punched in the mouth, and they're going to be like, oh, damn, like what happened? Now, if Optic does win, I'm happy. If Vancouver wins, I'm happy. I don't care who wins this. Like, this is a cool little, this bracket was insane. Like, as you can see right here on the left, like, it is absolutely ridiculous, but I don't know. I mean, we're going to have to see what happens. I'm picking Vancouver. I'm going to do, man, I really want to do 4-3, but I don't think that's going to happen. But now I'm thinking, like, I can't pick against Optic because they really just have been the best right now. I'm going to pick Vancouver 4-3. Probably going to win 6-3 in the last search and destroy. And I think it's going to be I think Seattle's going to win a lot of searches here. Or Vancouver's going to win a lot of searches. I think they're going to take 2 searches, 1 control. No, 2 searches and 2 controls. I don't think Optic's going to be able to. I think Optic will win the hard points. Mercury's going crazy. I don't know, man. This is tough. I think Vancouver's going to win it. I hope Optic wins it, just for the fact that Shots will have 3 rings. Dashi have 2. I think Hook will have 2. And then Mercury's will have his first. The storylines will just be insane. Back-to-back, pretty much COD champs. I'll feel bad for Pred, though, because I like Pred a lot, and I think, he deserves a go at it again with his team. But whatever, he's on Falcons, so... All right, guys, I appreciate you staying and listening to this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little video. And if you want me to do more like this, please leave a like and comment about it. I'm just, trying to do something different as I usually am playing games and not just rambling on. But I like to talk about Call of Duty Champs and the league and stuff. Like, I watch it pretty much every time it's on. Like, I'm a diehard COD fan. Like, I love it. I love watching people watch it too. Like, I'm always watching it, so I know a lot about it. And I've played ranked. You guys seen some videos on there. I do all right sometimes, but I'm hard stuck, probably like diamond. So that's probably it for me, guys. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like down below. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.